The meditation that the speaker will share with you today is Mandala Meditation. This meditation is truly amazing, so simple, but at the same time it manages to work very deeply within us. This is why it is incredible. The simple things which have great results are the most important. Dynamic meditation is not an easy meditation to practice. You have to be psychologically ready to face many situations. Finding the right place for the meditation is also not an easy thing, in the sense that dynamic is a very noisy meditation, therefore not easy to practice daily for months and months. Furthermore, dynamic meditation is so far from any concept that a person may have regarding meditation that one may wonder what sense to practice this technique. To practice dynamic meditation, a person must be in tune with the master who created it, namely Bhagwan Shri Rajneesh. Only a person who feels in love with Bhagwan can totally surrender and practice this crazy technique, which is the dynamic. If you read or listen to Bhagwan and finally feel at home, the dynamic is for you. By this, the speaker means if what Bhagwan says is somehow something you already knew, then you will feel at home. The way Bhagwan criticizes religion and society is something that has to make a seed bloom. But the seed must be present within us. Otherwise, it cannot germinate. There are many different types of seed, as there are many different masters. You just have to find the right master that suits you, and you will only know this when your seed sprouts. For the speaker, Bhagwan was the righteous master. No one else could sprout his seed, but for another person, the right master can be another, like Jiddu Krishnamurti, Meher Baba, George Kutcher, etc. Bhagwan has tried to bring together all the masters of the past, so his techniques contain all the teaching of the previous master. For example, in the third stage of dynamic meditation, when you hear the word stop, you must remain still and immobile in the position you are free. This is a technique used by George Kutcher. The third stage of Mandala meditation belongs to the Tibetan tradition, and so on. The need for catharsis is due to the fact that the more a society is civilized, the more the unconscious is in disorder. All religions have had to find ways to work on the unconscious. It was obviously not called unconscious. In the Bible, it is called hell. A person whose life is dominated by the unconscious lives in hell. For Buddhists, the unconscious is called the absence of light. Freud did not discover anything. He only invented a new name, unconscious. That is, that part of the mind that can never become conscious. From the esoteric point of view, the explanation given by Freud about this part of the mind is completely wrong. According to Freud, the unconscious is that part of the mind which can never become conscious. Real meditation is just becoming more and more unconscious of your own unconscious. If Freud were right, enlightenment would not be possible, because enlightenment is that psychological phenomenon that occurs with the disappearance of the unconscious. What Freud did, that is, to make something that was already known for thousands of years, to give it a new name, to pretend to be the one who discovered it, is something that Western have done a lot, like the discovery of America, the fact that the planet Earth is a sphere, etc. In reality, all cultures try to appropriate as many discoveries as possible. The Indians attribute to themselves all the discoveries concerning religion, the Muslims of having discovered the numerical zero and therefore mathematics. The Jews consider themselves the people chosen by God, etc. If you try to sit and meditate without being psychologically ready, you will have to face a lot of suffering, repression, which in all probability you will not be able to overcome. Then you will abandon the meditation. When you sit down to meditate, you do so in the hope of finding peace and bliss. This never happens. In fact, the more you sit still to meditate, to observe the breath or the sensation, the more confusion and suffering you will find inside you. What you do is completely irrational. How can you hope that with the mind that you have, sit still and observing the breath or sensation, it can have some use? The modern mind is so divided, so full of different selves and desires, that it really is a miracle that you can live without going crazy. We are actually crazy, but since everyone is crazy, madness has become normal. Try to get out of the mind for a few seconds, and you can see it for yourself. But the moment you see this madness surrounding the human being, you will be scared to death, and you will forget about it as soon as possible. You do cathartic meditation in the morning and a traditional meditation at night. Do not start with Vipassana. Watching the breath is difficult. It is too subtle, I think. Start with something outside of you, like looking at a candle, blue light, or your reflection in the mirror. These are all things easier to observe. The breath is too subtle. Once you are comfortable with things outside of you, you can begin by observing the breath. Mandala meditation consists of 4 stages of 15 minutes each. First stage, 15 minutes. Run from stand still with your eyes open. Start slowly and then gradually increases your speed. Raise your knees as high as possible. Breathe deeply and regularly to move the energy inward. Forget the mind, forget the body, never stop. Second stage, 15 minutes. Sit with your eyes closed, with your mouth open and relaxed. Rotate your body gently at the pelvis, clockwise and always at the same slow speed. The palms of the hands above your knees. The spine straight, but keeping the back and the neck relaxed. This movement will bring the energy already awakened by the rise in place to the navel. Third stage, 15 minutes. Lying on your back, open your eyes and rotate them in a clockwise direction, keeping your head still. Let your eyes make a full rotation and very large, as if following the second ends of a large clock, but as fast as possible. It is important that the mouth remains open and the jaw is relaxed. Breathing must always be calm and regular. This movement will bring your energies to the center in the third eye. Fourth stage, 15 minutes. You close your eyes and remain absolutely still. Thank you for listening.